So the first thing I'm going to do is go in with my e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer, just like I always do with a drugstore foundation, and just focus that on your problem areas. The foundation that I found at Walmart was the Covergirl TruBlend Matte Made Foundation. This is what it looks like. I got the shade M30. They have a huge variety of shades. I think they have 40, which is really rare at Walmart or at the drugstore. Usually I don't have that many. I think this is a new foundation. I haven't seen it out before. It says it's 12-hour comfort matte, which is good for you early girls out there. It's pore minimizing, oil control, and transfer resistant, which for me that's a huge thing. I always want to wear white shirts or have, you know, white bed sheets, but I always think I wear too much makeup. That's never gonna work. It was a little bit difficult to find my right shade. They have this little disc at Walmart where you can like hold up to your skin and try to match it. I'm gonna use a Y6 brush and I'm just gonna pump this on the back of my hand. I used a pump and a half. So I think that shade is gonna work because you want to match your neck. So far, it's looking pretty full coverage. I still have a little bit of redness over here. I can still see like some of my freckles in this area, but that's not a big deal. I'm gonna try to build it up just a little bit. I took one more pump, and the pumps don't seem like they're huge pumps. So I used, this will be my 4th pump on my face. So I'm just gonna put that where I see a lot on my skin to see if we can build this up. Oh yeah. It's definitely buildable, and I would say that it's kind of a medium to full coverage, probably just depending on your skin, honestly. I still have a lot of bumps down here that I'm working on getting rid of. So off camera, I'm gonna go ahead and do my concealer and set my face the way that I usually would, and then I will be right back. So I went ahead and did my concealer and set my face. I used the Makeup Revolution concealer as always, and I just went ahead and set with the Laura Mercier setting powder. You don't have to set with this foundation because it is mattifying. I started to notice it drying into my skin more. So you don't have to set it, but if you're very oily, I would recommend to set it anyways, just so you have that extra coverage. So also while I was in Walmart, I found this CoverGirl Chocoholic contour palette. And I don't know, these shades were so pretty to me. This is what they look like, and those highlight shades looked amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch it. Oh my. Okay. That's probably kind of hard to tell. That one's kind of dark actually. They're like super thick, powdery, buttery. I don't even know how to explain these. The contour, oh my. That is the contour shade. That's some pigment, man. That is some pigment. Okay, so I'm just gonna take it's a little dirty, but look past that. It's just the Wet n Wild contour brush. I'm gonna dip it in there. It does have a lot of kickback, which means whenever you put it in there, it kind of like comes back out at you, but it's not too bad. Definitely tap that off, going with a very light hand. Oh my gosh, that's really good. When contouring, do not forget to go up on your forehead to balance it all out. It is a little bit patchy on this side. I'm not sure if you can see in camera, but let's just try to keep blending that out. This side blended out really, really nice, but this side, for some reason, it was probably just my fault. I didn't set my face right. It's a little patchy right there, just in that area. I'm gonna use the Loose Fit Me finishing powder. I'm just gonna take my Real Technique sponge, go right in there and go right underneath of that contour just to kind of clean it up a little bit because I got a little messy there. Just gonna let that sit there for a second. Now for blush, I just got this the other day. It was a different I'm gonna be using the Burt's Bees Toasted Cinnamon Blush. It's super pretty, so I'm gonna dabble my brush in there. Oh yeah, I like that. It's a more natural blush for sure. Okay, now for highlight, I am gonna go in and use kind of the more warm shade because I'm just afraid that one's gonna be too pinky. Do you see all that came off with that? Oh, but that's a good highlight though. It does have a little bit of glitter in it, I'm seeing, but that's okay. It's nothing crazy. Now we're just gonna go in and brush the bake away. And we're gonna go ahead and move on to eyes, and I picked up this Covergirl. This is another Chocoholic. I don't know what the deal is with this whole Chocoholic thing. It says it smells like chocolate. I'm gonna open it. It definitely smells like chocolate, but let me take that little... This is what the colors look like. I was really intrigued by this. I don't have a palette that looks like this, so figured I'd get it and go ahead and try it out. I don't really have a very good transition shade in here, so what I'm gonna do is mix, oh boy. I'm gonna mix these two together and hope that it works out. I'm gonna feel these. Ooh, those feel really, really buttery. Oh my gosh, yeah, the pigment on these. Wait, hold on. Okay, I swatched this green one. Wow, that's really good. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and mix those two together. There's a lot of kickback on this also, so. So far, so good. The only thing is that these pans are a little bit small, so if you're using a fluffy brush like this, you really have to be careful to not get the shade beside it, because the shade beside the white shade is the green, and I do not want to mix those two together. Typically, I would not use a transition shade this dark at first, but I wanted to use everything that's in this palette, so we're gonna make it work with what we got. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you in. Now the second brush that I'm going in with is the M514, and I'm gonna take that really dark brown shade and go right in the crease just to kind of deepen it up a little bit. You wanna go with a very light hand, and you wanna hold further back on the brush. You don't want to hold all the way up here like a pencil, because then you're really going to have like a harsh line and it's not going to blend out very easily. I'm just taking this fluffy brush again and going back in the crease just to make sure it is all blended out. You want to go in windshield wiper motions, and then you kind of want to go in circular motions just to make sure there's no harsh lines. Now I'm using a synthetic shader brush, which in my opinion synthetic works so much better than a natural hair brush, and I'm going to spray it on both sides, and I'm going to go in with this dark purple right here and put that all over my lid. After doing that, I see a little harsh line right there, so I'm going to go back in with the M514 in that dark shade and just blend those two together just to make sure that it's a smooth transition. So on this eye, I did not damp my brush, and I think it's working a little bit better actually, which that is rare. Next, I'm gonna take this kind of lighter purple shade. It has some like gold flecks in it. And I'm going to pick that up. I wiped this brush off on a towel. I just really, really like this brush a lot. I'm gonna pick up some of that. I'm gonna spray it just once. I'm gonna focus that on the center of my eyelid just to give it a little bit of a pop. Spraying your brush and then putting it on your eye is going to make it a little bit more metallic, and I like that. Now I'm just taking a flat shader brush, and I'm going to take this lighter shade right here, tap it off, and put that right underneath of my brow bone just to clean up right around there. Now on just any pencil brush, I'm going to go in with that super dark shade, tap that off right underneath of my lower lash line just to kind of smoke that out. And there's not really an inner corner highlight shade in that palette that I like, so I'm going to just take the highlighter shade that we used on our cheeks and put that on a different pencil brush and just pop that right on the inner corner. So I'm gonna hop off here really quick and finish up my eyeliner, my eyebrows, and my mascara, and I'll be right back. I'll go ahead and give kind of a little bit of a review. I think that this palette is absolutely amazing. They have a peach palette, they have a bright colored palette, and then they had more of a rosy tone one, and this one just stuck out to me the most probably because I don't have anything like this. So I really, really enjoyed this. I think that it's definitely worth $10. For the palette, I'm gonna have to try it again to see if the kind of splotchiness was because I didn't set my face right. So this one's a little bit iffy. The highlighter, the gold highlighter was very, very nice, and they felt very, very creamy and blendable. So I think it might have just been me. We'll see. I'm a little iffy on that one. And then the foundation, I think that this was a very, very good foundation for only, I think it was $9 or $10. It really was full coverage, and I'm not sure if it's going to keep me matte throughout the day, but we'll see as the day goes on. I will update in the description box down below and let you know my final thought on this after today. Alright, so that is it for this video. I hope that you guys liked it, and I hope that you learned something. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next video.